Alright lads, so today we got 3 new resurrectable characters and we're going to showcase them into video and let you know my opinions on said characters. Firstly, starting off with my favourite of the 3, RUKIA. So looking at RUKIA, RUKIA is a power sniper with the holo kill ability. Now, on release, she was actually a pretty solid character, even just by having like some mediocre strong attacks. Like this SA1 is pretty much the worst strong attack one in the entire game. She does lack Havoc, but again, back in the day when she first released, because she is quite an odd character, this was possible. Nowadays, I mean, even with a good resurrection, it's not really enough to make you fully use her. I believe she has a RUKIA killer, by the way. I'm not sure if I said holo there, but what you can see here is that her main thing is that she hits quite a few times. Like, she hits a lot of times on all of her strong attacks, right? Her SA1, even though it's not the best strong attack, if you can position it properly, it can do quite a few hits. SA3 obviously does also do a lot of hits as it is like a vacuum vortex, and then her SA2 also just does a lot of hits as it is an actual moving vortex. And because of this allowed her to be quite a unique character to a certain extent, and I'm getting a bit of lag spikes, I do apologize for that. But back in the day when I used to actually use her quite a bit, it was more so in Senkamon. Because she hits so many times, and because she does have the built-in recharge, this allowed her to be a cheese character. You don't really do that much nowadays. There also are stages where you kind of don't want to because they're immune to status elements. But back when enemies weren't immune to status elements and you didn't have the perfect character, you would normally bring characters like this RUKIA that could just hit a lot of times with recharge and also have burn on everything. Or poison. In this case, RUKIA was one of those cheesable characters that you would use quite a bit in some of the harder boss stages for Senkamon. But going through this gameplay right now, I do notice that obviously she is quite a slow character. Even with, you know, max transcendence, she doesn't have the best range. I would have loved if she had 20% Havoc with this resurrection. But what she did pick up as a resurrection is actually not too bad. So you will notice that she did get a 20% Berserker, and you can kind of notice that in the gameplay. She is hitting a tad bit harder. Let me quickly skip that. What time did we actually get there? 1:45, so not really the super fast run. We'll do another run so we can actually clear a tad bit faster. But as I was saying, obviously the 20% Berserker, you definitely can notice it. In certain cases, we wouldn't really kill, but we are actually doing that with the kit. And that was actually really smooth right there for clearing that first room. And then she also has 16% full stamp as her secondary soul trait, which obviously, if you saw my reaction to the actual resurrection, that's really good. I love it when characters get stuff like that, and this makes her significantly better, right? That extra 16% full stamp goes a long way on our NAD string, which you can see we are using. It does increase her strong attack damage, and it also does increase her soul bomb damage, which again is also really important because I believe when we soul bombed the final boss there, we almost just killed him. And if we didn't have that 16% full stam, we wouldn't have actually done it. So resurrection-wise, I think she's actually a pretty solid character. You definitely can use her nowadays. I don't think I ever will, but at the very least, she is a really good link. 12% recharge as her original soul trait, and also the extra 16% full stam really does go a long way for being just literally the best power link in the entire game. Characters like Spirits, Arthur, or Yukapachi will greatly benefit from using links like that. Let's use the SA2 there into the SA3. No need for a soul bomb because we are doing good amount of damage. I know it's only single player IZ, but still, not too bad. Some decent performance. Character-wise, again, I am a fan of this character. I am a fan of RUKIA itself, and the design itself was also really cool. So it's nice to see a character like this just get a tad bit better. Not super amazing with this resurrection, but she has gotten better, especially if you are someone that's maybe worked on transcending her. You definitely can make a use of her right now with this resurrection. And again, the main point is that she's a really powerful link for any power character, which is always going to be relevant. This link, 12% recharge and 60% full stam, is never not going to be good. On to our next character, though, we have GRIMMJOW, who was actually a very good character on release. I guess the only problem he had for the most part was that he didn't have any built-in recharge, as he does convey 20% strong attack damage soul trait, and he also has no affiliation kit, which isn't the most ideal thing. But strong attack kit-wise, like, I mean, this is actually pretty good. The lunge is actually not too bad. The SA2 is still good to this day, and he does have a 4-screen strong attack free. So kit-wise, very good. And what you'll notice here with his resurrection is that he does get extra 10% recharge, which is great for this particular character. Every character wants to have recharge into their kit, as it means their strong attacks do come back faster, and in this case, GRIMMJOW is definitely seen the biggest improvement because he never had recharge to begin with. So that extra 10% recharge, which isn't even that much, definitely does go a long way. And again, gameplay-wise, very solid for the most part. Now, unfortunately, he didn't get 20% Berserker. Instead, he got 20% more damage to weakened enemies, which makes sense with his character's kit because he can inflict weakening. But I would have really loved if they went down the route of just giving him that extra bit of strong attack damage, as it would have made him significantly better. He obviously does have the 20% Berserker built into the character's soul trait, so he technically got extra damage compared to a normal resurrection character, if that kind of makes sense. But as you can see there, we cleared this very quick. Like, GRIMMJOW honestly got to be one of the better resurrection characters in the entire game, as you know, characters like this that were lacking something just very simple now get a really good upgrade. You know, similar to someone like GRIMMJOW, for example. The Mind version was kind of a mediocre character, but he picked up Frenzy and also Recharge, and that makes the biggest difference. And in this case here, GRIMMJOW just getting that extra 10% recharge with the additional 20% more damage to weakened enemies makes him actually really good here, because you can just clear a bit faster. Now, keep in mind, we are using him with only level 1 SP, so we don't have like extra damage. He obviously is T10, but he's performing like basically bare minimum for the most part. And this is some solid gameplay. I mean, it is obviously a tad bit slower compared to 2022 characters, but it's not too bad by any means. And visually, this character looks great too. I definitely do like the visuals of this character. This entire banner was actually really good visual-wise. SA1 there. We're going to use our SA2. SA2 I actually wrote the visuals of. SA3 right there. Lovely. And then we're going to go into this room. SA2 right here. And then we're going to Soul Bomb right there. Hopefully that clears a bit. Let me move my mouse. There we go. I want to try and do another run since we are clearing quite fast. I want to try another run and see if we can clear a tad bit faster, because I definitely did choke here in terms of my strong attack usage. Soul Bomb right there. What clear time did we actually get? 52. Again, 52 seconds is not bad by any means. I mean, for a character with only level 1 SP, also no kill advantage whatsoever, that came out in 2018, this is aight. This is actually alright. Let me use my nat string there. I would have loved if I could do that extra bit of damage. So if you see that, if we did actually get that 20% Berserker instead of damage to weakened, we would actually be in a way better situation. Let me stop them there, because I think that was the slowest room. The position of the enemies was quite weird. We're going to use our SA1 here into the SA2. And then I'm going to SA3 it there. So again, you can see, like, in these cases, those enemies were just not able to kill, and if we did have that extra 20% Berserker, we would have been able to kill, which again would have made him a lot better. But you know, just that extra bit of recharge, it definitely does go a long way. It makes him a way more usable compared to some of the characters that came out around his time. Completely missed the SA2. Great, we just completely ruined it. It's fine, no, it's fine, it's fine. We took damage. But you know, as someone that's not going to use his character all too much, I definitely do appreciate his resurrection, as it did make him a better character. Very rarely do we get resurrections that make characters better. More so, I like to prioritize them being a better Link for the most part. In this case, he could have easily gotten full stamina damage, which would have made him a better Link, but in this case, they gave him the recharge, made him a better character, and at the same time also made him a really good Link for any Technique character, as he's now offering 20% strong attack damage and also 10% recharge. Throw on a 14% recharge to balance out that 12% recharge soul trait for the most part, and you're going to be just fine, and you're getting that extra 20% Berserker to any Technique character. So, resurrection-wise, again, once more, definitely could have been better. I think I would have preferred if you got 20% Berserker or 20% Havoc. That would have been ideal, but 20% more damage to drained enemies and recharge is all you can really ask for a character like this, and definitely now has better usage with this new resurrection. So finishing up the video, we now have Gin, who I believe is probably the fan favorite of this entire banner, but then again, I'm not even too sure, because we have, you know, 3 popular characters, Gin, GRIMMJOW, and also RUKIA. Really good damage there. So what you'll notice with this character, with his resurrection, is that he already had recharge, so he was perfectly fine. When he picked up, and we saw him here actually, there we go. Unfortunately, wasn't able to do enough damage with our Soul Bomb, which really does suck, but we were able to at least clear the room pretty quick for the most part. So he picked up 20% strong attack damage on his skills, so 20% Berserker. Never can complain about that. And he also picked up 16% more strong attack damage on his soul trait, which is again also really good. So a 36% strong attack damage increase with this new resurrection, which definitely makes a difference. Again, at this point in time, you'll see at points we barely kill, and if we didn't have that 36% damage increase, we wouldn't have killed. So, or we didn't kill anyway, but you know, we would have done significantly less damage, and therefore we would have been clearing significantly slower. This character again is only performing at level 1 SP with T10 link shots, so it's the bare minimum for the most part, and again some decent performance. In co-op content, if you are still a fan of this character, I wouldn't mind him in my lobby if you work on the character. Again, that's what I mean, you have to like remember when it comes to these old characters, is that if you do want to use them nowadays in comparison to some of the newer characters, you really do want to, you know, transcend them at the very least. Level 20 link slots, SP level 10, maybe even max transcended it, and he's going to perform just fine. But again, keep in mind, he is a support character at the end of the day, so he is there to obviously provide the heal. So any extra bit of damage he can do is always going to be appreciated. That's one thing about his character when he first released, why he was kind of sought after. Because, you know, back in the day when you didn't have really amazing strong attacks, content was a tad bit harder. So you did kind of appreciate healers like this in this case. Obviously, he's mainly just a support role. He isn't really there to do that much damage. But with this resurrection, I mean, he's pulling his own weight, I think. SA2 there. Lovely combination of strong attacks. We're going to Soul Bomb here. There we go. Wasn't able to kill, unfortunately. I probably should have put a Tension tie on. Wasted that SA3. That's my bad. I thought there was another wave of enemies. But it's fine. We're going to use our SA1 there. That did a bit of pushback into the SA2. This character is definitely someone you appreciate in maybe Senkaman Quest if you are lacking some characters. SA3 there. Did enough damage to almost kill the entire wave. Just that last enemy had like a sliver of HP left. And now we're into the final room where we get to play the Soul Bomb. Because I didn't actually play any of the Soul Bombs. I've been skipping them. But getting Soul Bomb was pretty cool. He opened his eyes! Oh my god! I forgot about that. He opened his eyes, didn't he? Nice. And we didn't even kill. I'm not going to move. We're going to let Halle... No, we're skipping it. We didn't die, though. Of course we didn't die. We're getting... I mean, actually, that joke didn't age well, I guess. But all things considered, these resurrections are all pretty good for the most part. I mean, all three characters here are great links. Obviously, GRIMMJOW being the worst link of the three because he's offering more strong attack damage than recharge. Normally, you prefer more recharge than sad. But either way, it's still a good link. Don't get me wrong. Of course, RUKIA is a very good link, being a 12% recharge and also full stam. And then Gin is also a strong attack damage and recharge. So all three characters here are some of the best links in the entire game. And the resurrections do allow them to hit a tad bit harder, which definitely does make a difference, as damage-wise, they are lacking when compared to some of the newer characters. So even a 36% damage increase definitely does help characters like this, and GRIMMJOW getting an extra bit of recharge definitely makes him significantly more useful. So in the comments below, let me know what you lads think of these three new resurrections. I'm curious to know what you lads think. Later today, we are going to get maintenance, so we're going to get that big update tomorrow morning. Definitely looking forward to that. Hopefully lads are too. It's probably one of the best updates we received in a very long time, and I'm excited for it. So hope you lads enjoyed the video. See you lads next time. Peace.